finally back, and I think I'm making a pretty triumphant return with what I've got planned out. This is going to keep me busy for a little bit. April 12th, the day I am recording this, is actually the day the official Twilight Saga Illustrated Guide came out. And I went out mostly to price check and, see what was in it before I actually put any money down for it or anything. But the bookstore I went to, they had it on sale for $25, and then on the back of it said 50% off. I couldn't resist that, so once I actually got done, I walked out of there only dropping about $10 or $12 on this thing. Good deal, couldn't resist it, and plus I owe you guys. I am obligated and required, I swear, to tear apart anything Twilight related. So I bought it. I'm holding it right now. I'm looking at it. I took a picture of it in my house, so if you doubt my claim that I own it, there it is right there. And that's Martin, by the way. She was not amused. So, official Twilight Saga Illustrated Guide. I did a skim through, and I'm not impressed. In fact, I'm less than impressed. I'm downright angry at this thing. But I want to give you a good reason and understanding of why I hate it. I was going to do a written review. Well, actually, the original thing I was going to do was do a blow-by-blow recap style, like I always do. But as I started skimming through it, I realized that was going to be impossible. Because so much of this stuff in here, I have either already recapped or planned on recapping. Yeah, that's right. There's virtually nothing new in here. There really isn't. So that's hard. But what little is new, half of it contradicts her canon. So I figured I would do a general review, like the one post, maybe two, if I got too wordy, reviewing this book, what I hated about it, everything. What I liked about it, not that much. But the more I looked at it, the more I realized that was going to be impossible too, because when I actually do my genuine reviews, as you guys have seen, when I review the books, in my recap, I'm screaming and flailing and ranting and raving, and I'm posting funny pictures, and I'm doing all kinds of stuff, but my final thoughts are almost always as professional as I can possibly get. Which isn't much, but still. If I were to do a review of this, I would have to maintain that tone through the whole thing, and I can't, because this just makes me mad. This book genuinely makes me mad. So, I decided I'd do a live read. I figured that would be the thing to do. So, that's my DOS ranting return. The next, I don't know how many episodes of this, are going to be me reading through this stuff and ranting about it. I'm not going to be reading it out loud. That would take far too long, far too much time. I'm just going to read sections. I'll cut out when I'm reading because I won't be talking then. And then tell you something that catches my eye, something in particular I can talk about. Because so much of this I'm already going to talk about in my actual recaps, or I already have. And, that's going to be my first big complaint right here, right up front. So much of this is copied and pasted, almost word for word, from either lexicon or her own site. And I suppose I should check. I really should. Let's look in the back. Does she credit the Twilight lexicon? No. I don't see any credit for the Twilight lexicon. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's up front. Okay, they wish to acknowledge contributions from the Twilight lexicon. Yeah, it's a little more than contributions. It's ridiculous is what it is. I could not believe this when I started skimming through it. And it made me mad because I paid money for this. I may have gotten it seriously on sale because this is its first day out, and the publishers and bookstores seem to know that this series is on its way out because it's not flying off the shelves like it used to. And they're not confident this is going to revitalize it like they thought it would, so they're already saying $10 for a hardback, 500-something page, high quality novel length thing. You $10. I couldn't believe it either. So, yeah. It's not worth the $10. It's not worth hardly anything, because you could just go on the lexicon or her website and read the exact same thing for free. However, there is new stuff in here, and I really want to go into it, and why it's bad. I also wanted to say, the few things that I did like, and of course it is the illustrated guide, there are pictures, not that many, and, they really should have chosen someone else to do the art. I hate to beat down on who did this, because, the it's hard to explain, but we'll get there. I'm tangenting. This first video is going to be just me explaining what this is, and my initial thoughts without actually, opening it, unless it's to check like the page summary or something. It's how many pages is this? It's 543 pages. So it's pretty thick, even though it is pretty compact, generally speaking. It's not nearly as big as my Harry Potter books over there. The cover. As you can see, she's continuing the red, black, and white motif. And yes, that is symbolic of the illustrated guide supposedly filling in missing pieces to her great magnum opus. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, even her lexicon must have a OMG symbolic cover. Ugh. Yeah, it's nice quality. The binding's good. The pages are very soft. I like it. Let's see. Inside cover. Let's see. What's the inside cover say? At long last, all the pieces come together. Yeah, I'll air my grievances on that in a few. In 2005, Twilight introduced readers to Bella Swan and Edward Cullen, and a worldwide phenomenon was born, and my life ended. Since then, millions of readers have followed the breathtaking vampire love saga. You're making me laugh. As it continued in New Moon and Breaking Dawn, and culminated in New Moon and Eclipse, and culminated in Breaking Dawn. Not really. Now, for the first time, Stephanie Meyer reveals secrets of the series as well as additional exclusive material taken directly from her personal notes, including character profiles, genealogical charts, maps, extensive cross-references, and an in-depth conversation with author Shannon Hale, and much more. With our nearly 100 gorgeous full-color illustrations and photographs throughout, this official guide allows readers to experience the Twilight Saga as never before, from Bella's first day in Forks to the riveting final pages of Breaking Dawn. Yeah, we'll get into that too. This is just like all the summaries of the books. False promises. But the thing is, most of the illustrations done in here are done by Young Kim, who did the Twilight manga. And I'll be going into that later, because I do have stuff to say there. Okay, how about the back? What's it say? If only official guide to the #1 New York Times bestselling Twilight Saga by Stephanie Meyer. This must-have edition is the definitive encyclopedic reference to the Twilight Saga and provides readers with everything they need to explore further the unforgettable world of Stephanie Meyer created in Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, and the Short Second Life of Reed Tanner. What world? And again, we'll be getting into that. This comprehensive handbook, essential for every Twilight Saga fan, and anti-fans apparently, is full color throughout. No, it isn't. With nearly 100 gorgeous illustrations and photographs, with the exclusive new material, not really, character profiles, genealogical charts, no, maps. We needed a map to Forks apparently because Google and MapQuest aren't encompassing enough. Extensive cross-references, not really. An in-depth conversation with author Shannon Hale, blah, we got all that already. Okay, so, that's it. And I can tell you already, those summaries I just read you are full of lies. Just like the New Moon summary was full of lies, just like the Twilight summary is full of lies. It's full of lies. It lies to us. This drives me crazy. I think that's the thing that irritates me the most. Summary is misleading. Even in a guide. They promise us all this stuff. We don't get that. We don't get that at all. I mean, here's an example I will give you, without actually getting too much into it to save it for the later rant. Here's the example I'll give you when I was skimming it. I wanted to see this because I was curious. They promised, where is it? Outtakes. They promised some outtakes. The scenes that were cut, and I'm like, oh, new material to sport. Oh boy, I'm happy. Then I wondered, she has outtakes on her site. Surely she won't just put those outtakes in the guide. She did. These are all available on her website. She just put them in her book and now is making people pay for them when you could just get them on her website for free. Even better, there's only one outtake that is new. Only one. Nothing from Eclipse. Nothing taken out of Eclipse. Nothing taken out of Breaking Dawn. It's just New Moon and Twilight. And we've already read most of them. I'm going to go through and see if they have all the errors as well, to see if she didn't even bother cleaning them up. But that's for when we get there. Let's look at the table of contents here. Okay, the conversation with Shannon Hale is 66 pages. Oh, good God. That's going to take a while. Then we have vampires. This general vampire stuff goes from 68 to 83. Then we list all the covens. Oh, good God. Okay, the vampire coven, meaning their character profiles, goes from page 85 to 295. Lord. Whereas the werewolves go from 298 to 371. I sense a discrepancy. And of course the lowly humans, 372 to 401. We don't need to know much about them. After all, they're only lowly humans. Then we've got a timeline. We've got key plot points. I looked at those. We'll be discussing those. The cars. The cars! You just listed stuff. Inspirations. Just the playlist explained what inspired what scene with the music. Well, again, we'll get into that. Particularly one. The fan art gallery. Myers a fan of DeviantArt. International cover gallery, which is available on her website. Why do we care? Why are you including covers of your... And then the outtakes, and then the frequently asked questions, which, again, we'll get there. So overall, my first impressions of this, when I read that table of contents, I was not impressed. Now that I've skimmed it, I'm even less impressed, but, we'll get there. We'll get there. This is going to be a very long-winded, long-running, long series. And I'm going to be yelling a lot, just as a warning. I'm quiet in this one because it's 10:30, and I'm trying not to wake anybody up or attract attention to myself. Because I just did this on a whim. As evidenced by this was not scripted, I'm sure you can tell. I'll try to have more notes outlined when I actually start going. And when I start talking, so it'll be better and less of a mess in this case. But yeah, this isn't going to be pretty, but I hope you guys enjoy it. And for the most part, I always, you guys know that as much as I scream and rant and rave and yell, and as much as I look like I'm about to tear my own head off and eat my own spinal cord in pure, unadulterated rage, you guys do know this is a fun hobby for me, and I enjoy it because you guys enjoy it. That's ultimately why I do this, because I know I'm entertaining you people. Well, few of you. I love my little fan base. So, yeah, that's my DOS ranting project for the next, I don't know how long. I may intersperse it with another Hate It for the Right Reason or something extra, but, I've got a lot of Hate It for the Right Reason topics up, and some of them are halfway written. I just haven't had much inspiration on those. It doesn't help that, I've been on a huge Supernatural kick, and we've been in Hiatus, and it's about to end this weekend. So, yeah, I've been a bit distracted. Real life was kicking my tail, but I'm back, and I've got an epic project on the table. This is going to be fun as much as it's going to be bad. Ultimately, though, I hope you guys are entertained. That is entry 1 in DOS Ranting Twilight Saga, the official illustrated guide. I'm ready to take the plunge. Are you? 'Cause when you're